Arcanum Workshop, Cavern of Wrath. You got a big demon dude fighting some wizard dudes, and a wizard dudette, and a coin.
All right, it is still August, and Arcanum Workshop has created the Cavern of Wrath. And we got a big old demon dude and 4 wizard dudes. And I'm sure you're thinking, hold on, I only count 3 wizard dudes. That's right, because one of these fuckers, it never printed. This is my 5th attempt right here. It was a complete waste of time. It was really annoying. So is it all worth it? No, based not just on that, but on multiple other factors. Not being, one, how much does it take to print all of this? Just a half liter, that's fine. How are the supports? Not great. Quite frankly, it looks like they were done with like an auto support function. Most of them seem way too big, like this. These are huge. These are just huge supports. And then the others are way too small. The result being, well, at least on this one, actually this one, the problem is probably actually the file itself. I lowered lift speed, raised the lift speed, added a ton of small supports, added a ton of medium supports. Nothing would happen. I looked through it, and it's like, you know what? I don't want to fuck with someone's digital file, quite frankly. It's just wait a couple months. Wait a couple months until they get better. Quite frankly, is it easy to assemble though? Also, no, not really. None of the people have those little indentations in the bases where their feet go. That doesn't work. So there is an ideal position for them to be in, but you don't know what it is. So you just sort of have to like move the figure around on the base, be like, is that it? Is that plumb? Is that straight up and down? This guy was a huge pain in the ass because this big smoke circle is a separate piece from the base. But you don't really know, well, should I glue the wizard dude first and then put the smoke? Or should I put the smoke and then put the wizard dude? Because you can't really do both because you only have 2 hands. And it's really delicate and awkward to try and fit them together. But if you're working with super glue that bonds like quasi-instantly, you can't just put it down, wait a little bit, put the other thing there. Because again, you don't really know where the wizard guy is supposed to go. It's just like it's a clusterfuck. This demon was a huge pain in the ass. It's a big model. That's a big model, and they don't have those little like locking those little keys to secure it to the base. So you're like, I don't really know exactly where it's supposed to go. It limits the amount of surface area for the glue to attach. So I don't really have a lot of. I ended up using hot glue because it kept on. It was a fucking pain in the ass. You know, you're not gonna trust super glue with, you know, a curved foot with a flat base. No, that's dumb. And all of the different pieces, the different attachment pieces, like this leg, the tail, the wings, they're just flat. It's just flat on flat. And because 3D printing is not an exact science, it's like nothing ever is like super exactly perfect. You know what I mean? Like there's slight variations, which means you sometimes don't have exactly a perfectly flat or a perfectly lined up piece. Like they're not 2 jigsaw pieces that fit exactly together. And because of that, it sort of scoots around a little bit because they didn't bother to put in those. I'm calling them keys. Is that what we're calling them? Just keys, where it only goes one way, and again, there's more surface area for the glue to attach to. Like these are basic fundamental issues. Is it gonna break? Yeah, this shit's gonna break. This little skeleton dude, a great touch. It's a great touch for a base. It broke just while I was setting this up and feeling it because it's really thin. It's super thin. All of this stuff is super thin. Why? Quite frankly, why? Maybe it'll look good on a shelf, but you're not really even going to see it because it's so small. You know, this stuff, this little electricity, great idea, definitely going to break. This little wand, definitely going to break. Like, you can't really... Can you use them in a game of Hero Quest? No. No, you can't use them in a game of Hero Quest because they're too fucking big. They're 40 millimeter. They're huge. They're big. They're like a 40 millimeter scale. I didn't even bother to measure the base. Well, we can tell you how big the base is. The base is 2 inch. That's a 2-inch base. What are you going to do with this? You can't shrink it down because everything would be way too small. It wouldn't print. So that one, yeah, this one, that'd look good on a shelf. That looked really good on a shelf. Put that here. That's inspiring. But that's it. I don't know what you're going to do with the other ones. So, like, why bother? You see that? That's gonna... Oh, God. Comes with a coin. It gives you a coin. It's cool. But it's a lithophane, which is a pain in the ass as well. Lithophanes, you have to light them from behind. I hope you can see this. It's got like a skull dude's face on it. Except whenever you don't have a light shining from behind, you can't really tell what it is because it's like a weird negative, and it's so thin that you can actually see that it actually doesn't print because it's too thin. Like it's not there, quite frankly. It's it's paper thin because it's a lithophane, so it really doesn't have any real function. Fuck. It's $10. I mean, just wait a couple months. I'll check back in. I'll let you know if they're better. The lack of the poor supports, quite frankly, poor supports. The lack of the keys, I'm gonna keep calling them that, to assemble everything together. That's a horrible idea. Way too thin across the board means it's all gonna break. And why can't I use it in a game of HeroQuest? Like they're not usable. And they're not big enough to really look great on a shelf. So, this one's a pass. If there's any other subscriptions you're curious about, let me know, and I'll sort that shit out for you.